What is photojournalism? Photojournalism is a branch of photography that uses photos or images to tell a story. A person who practices photojournalism is called photojournalist. His photos come out in a newspaper and magazines, as well as non-traditional visual media like websites and blogs. Characteristic of photojournalism. The first one is photojournalism is relevant. The main objective of photojournalism is to tell a story better than the text or write-up that usually accompanies the photos. Therefore, it should capture images that have meaning or relevance to the story being told. For example, a story about a mother reunited with her daughter after being apart from 20 years will be more effective if it is accompanied by the photo showing them rushing into the other's arm. The second characteristics of photojournalism is photojournalism is timely. Photojournalism should tackle current issues. It should feature something that's that is on the news or something people are talking about. This will make the images more interesting to the audience or reader. Example, after her triumph in the London Olympics, for example, numerous photos of US gymnast Gabrielle "Gabby" Douglas in action were spread throughout the internet. These photos were accompanied by short descriptions of how Gabby captured the attention of the crowd and the judges. The images help people from different parts of the world to experience her victory and celebrate with her. The third characteristic of photojournalism is objective. Photojournalism is not biased. It does not take sides. Therefore, the images should accurately show events as they are. Some photographers, however, argue that to be completely objective is quite difficult. According to them, the term honest is more appropriate in describing photojournalism. No matter what a photojournalism believes in, whether he prefers to be objective or honest, the most important thing is for him to present the images as is. The secret is not to force the situation. For example, a photojournalist shooting a burial scene should not force his subject to shed tears because he wants to create a dramatic effect. Real emotions are captured candidly. The fourth characteristic of photojournalism is narrative. Photojournalism works best if it is presented as a narrative. The photos should come with a short write-up or article stating important facts about the incident or event. It should tell a story. For example, a photo that shows two little girls lifting a small box of old clothes tells a clearly story than one that shows a box marked with old clothes. The fifth and the last characteristic of photojournalism is it is aesthetically interesting. Photojournalists follow certain photography principles that are intended to help them produce photos that catch the attention of different audiences. Photos with the right focus, angle, and color will attract more people than those that come out blurry or unfocused. Now we're going to discuss about the different fields of journalism or photojournalism. The first one is we call it the general news. Pertains to any event that is planned ahead of time. Examples are press conferences, product launches, or ceremonies and fundraising dinners. The second one is spot or breaking news. It refers to any events or incident that is unplanned. You don't know whether or when it will happen. And sometimes it should even have happened. Examples are house or building fire, a burglary or a car incident. The third one is documentary photojournalism. This refers to a long-term photography project like trailing a candidate during the campaign period or documenting the life of an orphan child. The fourth one is the sports photography, the most action-packed side of photojournalism. You can take photos of any sports, a basketball game, a football championship match, and even a special taekwondo tournament. Another field of photojournalism is portrait photojournalism. This is not your typical portrait photo. In photojournalism, portrait shots involve significant members of the community shown in their unusual environment, like a race car driver beside his car, a doctor inside the operating room, or the US President in an Oval Office. We're going to also discuss about the basic photojournalism tips. The first one is good photos tell a story better than the text that comes with it. And in order to tell a story, your photos should have the following elements. The first one is human or people, emotions like facial and nonverbal expressions, actions, or something extraordinary or unusual, like a blind father braille reading a story to his kid. The second one is your photo should focus on the faces of the people, not in their backs or the backs of their heads. Take photos of people in action or people doing things. Avoid taking photos of people shaking hands or ha- handing out awards as this tend to be bore the audience. The third one is make sure that your subject is always in focus. Know what your central subject should be. For example, when taking photos of people stranded because of a storm, your focus should be on the people, not on the torrent of rains. If you want to focus on the rain, your story should be about the storm, not the stranded people. Number 4 is think twice or thrice before deciding to take photos of naked people. This practice can be quite tricky as the photos might be misinterpreted by some groups of individuals. Study the circumstances first before taking the photos. For instance, when doing a story about bare-chested native woman, you need to determine first how to take the photo in a manner that won't come out offensive, or in a way that can be interpreted as gratuitous. Ask yourself if the nudity can really add something to the story before making a decision. And lastly, always take note of the angle of the shot you are taking. To make sure that you are choose the right angle, take a couple of shots in different perspective. This is a similar to what film directors do when they want to capture the scene of their movies in different points of view.